of Australia, Tzu Chi volunteers held their second distribution for October's bushfire survivors. We joined Taiwan Tzu Chi volunteers at the year-end blessing ceremonies in the cities of Taipei and New Taipei. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. First up in Australia, following the bushfires in the Blue Mountains region of New South Wales in October, Tzu Chi volunteers have recently returned to hold their second relief distribution on December 7th. Volunteers handed out cash cards worth up to $1,300, eco-friendly blankets and other necessities for families affected by the fire.
Initially, locals were skeptical of Tzu Chi's motives, yet they gradually became supportive and grateful for the assistance. A report of Tzu Chi's charity was published in the local newspaper. The headline said, "Buddhist generosity overwhelms fire affected." One of the recipients mentioned how she was thankful for Tzu Chi's help.
To be treated with such kindness, it's like you're wrapping us in a warm blanket.
Tzu Chi offered each household up to $1,300 in cash. The total amount given out was close to $160,000. In the previous aid distribution, Tzu Chi's charity was well received by local residents. At this most recent distribution, Tzu Chi volunteers once again demonstrate their dedication to helping those in need.
You don't have to do this, and because you're doing it from your heart, I can't thank you enough.
This fire survivor is a single mom who has to raise her 5 kids on her own. Meeting the volunteers made her believe once again in the goodness of the humanity. This time, the aid distribution comes with a little touch of Tzu Chi's spirit and includes a sign language performance.
Fire survivor bought all of our eco-friendly mugs and gave them to his family members. He said all his belongings were lost in the fire, so he thought it's a good idea to buy these mugs as Christmas presents.
Tzu Chi volunteers also seized the chance to spread the message of Tzu Chi's bamboo coin banks, hoping to inspire more to join in the cause of giving.
In Malaysia, 160 Tzu Chi volunteers from Penang, Taipei, Johor Bahru and Selangor conducted the largest relief distribution to date for flood survivors in Kemaman, helping a total of 1,000 families. Volunteers and staff members from various local Tzu Chi chapters all seized the opportunity to take part in the distribution.
2 weeks after floods hit Terengganu, Tzu Chi volunteers from Penang, Taipei, Johor Bahru, and Selangor once again visited the small town of Kemaman to distribute aid to 1,000 affected families.
We finished our distributions in Kuantan, so we came back to Terengganu to check on the condition of the area, only to find the situation hasn't improved. After some discussion, we decided to take this opportunity to gather our manpower and supplies and organize another distribution for 1,000 families.
In the numerous distributions following the floods, this is the first time volunteers have been sufficient in number. Many staff members from the various Tzu Chi chapters came to provide their assistance. Haidar is a nursing assistant at the Penang Tzu Chi Dialysis Center. Today, he is here as a volunteer, caring for the villagers in their mother tongue. Usually not so good at expressing himself this time, Haidar is learning how to inspire compassion in others.
Even 1 ringgit is alright. This money will go towards helping the needy. I saw on DaAi TV that there was flooding in this area and many volunteers came here to help out, so I also wanted to come and contribute what I could.
Kami sudah tahu yang itu ada banjir kan, so kami nak bagi itulah bantuan kamu. Sumbangan sikit. Ya, nah itu.
Terima kasih.
Often caring for those in the dark corners of society, volunteer Yang Li Ying jumped at the opportunity to join the volunteers' visit. Having just recently been certified, Yang knows well that this is where her mission lies. Someone asked me why we came here when everyone is running away from the disaster area. I replied, of course we should be here. Tzu Chi canvassed love and donations to help the suffering, and this money is to help them restore the stability in their lives. A simple greeting contains more love than 1,000 words, and Tzu Chi volunteers will continue to remain by the disaster survivors' side to relieve them of their pain and suffering.
Tzu Chi's winter aid distribution continues to provide relief to the less fortunate worldwide. In China, volunteers in Wuhan city of Hubei province handed out aid supplies to impoverished families, while Tzu Chi volunteers in Manchester, England, held an early Christmas party at a homeless shelter.
In Manchester, England, Tzu Chi volunteers on a local homeless shelter are holding an early Christmas party to celebrate the holiday season. Although Tzu Chi is a Buddhist organization, volunteers understand the importance of the holiday and get busy packing winter relief items to help the less fortunate. At the party, everyone become fast friends, singing songs of joy and sharing laughs together. The shelter's sister Lucy leads the room in prayer before the presents are handed out. The arrow points to Chen De-xiong, a Tzu Chi volunteer and coach of the Chinese Taipei Taekwondo team. He is the brother of Chen Qiuhua, Tzu Chi's senior volunteer in Jordan. Even though he is in the United Kingdom for World Taekwondo Federation's World Grand Prix, Chen De-xiong does not forget his Tzu Chi roots and brings along his athletes to give back.
Yeah, have a Merry Christmas. Take care, all right?
Gold medalist in the men's 58 kilogram and second in world rankings in Taekwondo, Wei Chen-yang has a hard exterior but a soft inside.
We wanted to have them feel the warmth of homecoming. I feel that this event is really special.
Seeing their happiness, I feel especially blessed to be able to be here and feel their affection.
The homeless relish in eating fried egg rolls, an item many considers a luxury. The partygoers sing a song of appreciation for Tzu Chi. There's no sadness, only tears of laughter and joy at this early Christmas party. Meanwhile, it's 5 in the morning and Wuhan Tzu Chi volunteers are moving bags of rice in the dark. This is the third annual winter aid distribution in Wuhan City, Hubei Province's Taipei community for the less fortunate.
I want to thank all the volunteers for their dedication in helping our impoverished residents. Thank you for providing such warmth in this cold winter.
At the Taipei community in Wuhan City, the street names and community areas all take after places in Taiwan. This region, in fact, was one of the earliest to embrace Taiwanese culture. Hence, Tzu Chi's yearly winter aid distribution here is something the less fortunate look forward to every year.
Last year, Tzu Chi came to help us. I was here last year too. I want to thank the volunteers for their efforts.
Seeing a 60-year-old senior using a carrying pole to shoulder relief supplies for 4 families, a volunteer hurries over to ask if he needs help. Shaking his head no, the senior smiles and leaves. His figure, seen from behind, alludes to a heart full of thanks for Tzu Chi's assistance.
In Taiwan's New Taipei City, 5 year-end blessing ceremonies were held at the Shuanghe Jingsi Hall that attracted a crowd of more than 6,000 participants. But first, let's go to the year-end blessing ceremony held at the Songshan Liaison Office in Taipei to see how the Water Repentance Sutra musical strengthened the relationship between a father and daughter.
This is the scene at Tzu Chi's year-end blessing ceremony held at Songshan Liaison Office in Taipei City. For months, onstage volunteers have put forth tremendous effort and practice to put on a flawless performance.
Many onstage volunteers are joining Tzu Chi's event for the first time. Although we were short on volunteers, all of us gave our best to encourage community residents to join our ranks.
This is my 3rd year participating in the musical, and every year I am deeply moved. This time I realize that we need to overcome difficulties, not be overcome by them.
Thanks to a sutra performance, the relationship between Huang Weide and his daughter is closer than ever.
I'm not that great with the tempo, but my daughter is very good at it. She will teach me and help familiarize me with the song. I'm very grateful to have my daughter helping out.
After joining the sutra adaptation, many onstage volunteers have realized the importance of promoting vegetarianism.
The sutra tells us that we need to have a compassionate heart. We should not kill and should go meatless. This way we can all live harmoniously on this planet together.
At the end of the event, children respectfully offered their parents a cup of tea to express their gratitude. Meanwhile, the Tzu Chi year-end blessing ceremony at Shuanghe Jingsi Hall in New Taipei City is joined by students and teachers of the New Shoes tutorial program. For the past 5 years, this program has helped children from underprivileged backgrounds find their passion for learning. During the year-end blessing ceremony, more than 100 Tzu Shaos donated their filled bamboo coin banks to help those devastated by Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines. Tzu Chi volunteer Wang Yuezhi, who was involved in a car accident years ago, also seized the opportunity to encourage those in the audience to do good deeds.
We are saving up blessings by doing good deeds and vice versa. Tzu Chi has been giving me the opportunity to do good deeds and save up my blessings.
Since 2004, Wang Yuezhi, who was once a famous tutor, has been sharing her story in different communities. Unconcerned about not getting any reward for her efforts, Wang says that her only goal is to inspire more people to do good deeds.
In Taiwan, Liu Yuzi was diagnosed with breast cancer 9 years ago and became depressed during her treatment. When she returned to Hualien, she came across the volunteers in the cancer care unit at the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital and was inspired to join their ranks. Over the years, Liu, through sharing her personal experiences, has encouraged and brought hope to numerous patients like herself. Putting their vest on, the volunteers at the cancer care unit are ready to begin their day. Sharing her personal experiences with others is Liu Yuqiu, who was diagnosed with breast cancer 9 years ago. While suffering from depression, Liu came across Tzu Chi when she returned to Hualien and was later inspired to join the volunteers in the cancer care unit at the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital.
By interacting with the patients and encouraging them, we are also encouraging ourselves. Wishing them well is just like telling ourselves not to lose faith.
Setting aside her illness, through volunteering, Liu began to see the suffering of other cancer patients and decided to reach out to those in the same boat as herself.
When I was ill, throughout my treatment, I was quite scared as well. Having been through it all, those who were just diagnosed with cancer probably feel the same. So I thought it could be good if I could help care for them.
这一块会比较好一点。所以说你要跟你一些女性朋友有没有都要现身说法，就是说。
2 days a week, Liu Yuqiu can be found in different corners of the hospital, accompanying cancer patients.
我们去病房关怀的时候，他们都会。
When we go to the patients where they normally turn down our visit requests, but when we tell them that we have suffered from cancer ourselves, they not only welcome us but also ask us about our experiences.
Concerned with the lives of these cancer patients after their discharge, today Liu Yuqiu and volunteers at the cancer care unit are traveling to visit their old friends.
When we are feeling down and in pain, the timely love and care of these volunteers gives us the strength to go on.
The continuous care and love to the patients and their families not only creates family-like bonds, but also brings hope for better days ahead.
Seeing the volunteers who have experienced the illness themselves, yet are here to care for others and are still very healthy, that gives us faith and inspires us to be like them.
In the blink of an eye, Liu Yuqiu now has been at the cancer care unit for 7 years and vows to continue spreading love to those in need.
I do not know how long I will live, but I'll just give whatever I can. I find joy in volunteering and I will continue on.
At the Taiwan Tzu Chi Hospital, the work of a Tzu Chi monthly magazine photographer who captured countless photos of the stories between volunteers and patients have been put together for a photo exhibition. Let's take a look. Each photo illustrates the suffering of a patient and the helplessness of a family. Fortunately, besides these helpless souls are Tzu Chi's medical volunteers.
We probably place more emphasis on providing emotional care and support to our patients. To be honest, some of our younger staff have yet to grasp the secret in providing such care. So thankfully, this is where our brothers and sisters come in.
Medical volunteers are not only like family to these patients, but also medical staff's best helpers. Thus, doctors and nurses are seizing the opportunity to express their gratitude.
Coming here to volunteer, I wasn't expecting to receive such a nice surprise from the Taiwan Tzu Chi Hospital medical team. I'm really happy and excited. Thank you.
As the photo exhibition kicks off at the Taiwan Tzu Chi Hospital, medical volunteers all vow to continue to give whenever and wherever they can. Staying in Taiwan, next we meet team nurse Wang Jinghui from Tainan, whose first international relief mission was to the disaster-stricken areas of Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines. Though medical resources were limited in the disaster zones, Wang was nonetheless inspired by the courage and optimistic nature of the Filipinos.
I saw a little child just sitting there next to a pile of rubbish.
Each photo tells a moving story. These photos were taken by team nurse Wang Jinghui from her cell phone during her medical mission to the Philippines. As Wang set out for the disaster-stricken cities with members of the medical mission, they came across many residents that arrived to seek medical attention each day. Seeing the disaster survivors' hardship and courage deeply moved her.
When we were cleaning the wound, sometimes we needed to trim off the dead skin around it. It was actually extremely painful, but residents tried their best to endure the pain. I really sympathize with that.
Once the free clinics concluded, Wang stayed behind to continue helping those in the remote areas. At best, a temporary clinic was set up on the side of the road with just a table and a chair. Sometimes Wang would even rest their legs on her own thigh to clean the disaster survivor's wound.
I didn't think that they were dirty or think otherwise of them. All I thought about in that moment was how to treat their wound so that they can get better soon.
The greatest reward for Wang is not how much she gave, but rather realizing her own blessings.
I will cherish each affinity and seize every opportunity to give.
Seeing the hardship of the suffering ignited the compassion in Wang's heart, and she hopes to canvas the love of many more kind-hearted people to help support Typhoon Haiyan survivors on their path to recovery.
Among the doctors who joined the relief work in the Philippines is dentist Ling Zhongqi, who runs his own clinic in Taichung. Following his return to Taiwan, Ling seized every opportunity to share his experiences with others.
I was very shocked. I feel that we humans are really insignificant. We should be more modest.
On November 22nd, dentist Ling Zhongqi closed his business to join Tzu Chi volunteers for a 5-day relief work in the Philippines. At the time, Tacloban was still a scene of devastation and ruins. With no water or electricity, simple dental work has become a difficult task for these medical staff.
Going to the Philippines, I learned about teamwork. I felt we didn't do a lot, and the brothers and sisters there are the ones who are doing all the hard work.
Besides taking part in free clinics, Ling also canvassed for donations whenever he could.
Despite being disaster survivors themselves, they nonetheless wanted to give what they can. I feel there is a positive side of humanity after all.
After returning to Taiwan, the dentist seized every opportunity to share her experience with his assistants and patients.
The environment is really tough. They sacrifice their time and put in their efforts to help those in need.
The dentist had to close his business, earn less money to join the relief work. I am quite impressed and moved by his dedication.
A trip to the Philippines has further determined Ling Dongqi's mind in helping those in need, and he hopes to inspire those around him to give a little of their love as well. Moving to the United States, city volunteers in different regions continue to fundraise for Typhoon Haiyan survivors in the Philippines, with students of the Dallas DaAi Kindergarten making cookies to sell, Tzu Chi's Long Island branch in New York holding a music concert, and volunteers at the Las Vegas Tzu Chi Academy collecting donations on campus.
To help disaster survivors in the Philippines, students of Dallas DaAi Kindergarten are selling snakes to raise funds.
We want to help the Filipinos.
We want to educate our students that despite their young age, they are still able to contribute their love to others.
Through the charity sale, the students learn to give and show their compassion to the less fortunate.
Each cash for work participant can get $12. With the money you raise today, we can mobilize 30 local residents to clean up their streets. In fact, their streets are already clean now. Boys and girls, you did a great job.
Also helping raise funds for the Philippines is the Las Vegas Tzu Chi Academy. Tzu Chi volunteers there seized the chance to canvass for donations at the school.
As the Christmas holiday is just around the corner, we encourage students and their parents to contribute their love to the Philippines.
Everyone can contribute in their own way. It's good to be able to help the disaster survivors. We should shoulder the responsibility to help those in greater need.
As a musician, I want to contribute my effort to help the disaster survivors speed up the recovery process.
While at the Tzu Chi Long Island branch in New York, volunteers organized a music concert. Despite the heavy snow, 3 Dharma masters from Brooklyn came to take part in the event.
I'm really moved and surprised to see how Tzu Chi volunteers actualize the compassion and wisdom of the Dharma and spread it to people around the world.
Through such Tzu Chi events, love is reaching the disaster survivors in the Philippines just in time.
Back to Taiwan at the end of today's show. As the island has been hit by a cold front, volunteers from the Hongdao Senior Citizens Welfare Foundation teamed up with military officers to help 93-year-old Grandma Du and her 2 handicapped sons clean up their home in New Taipei City. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.